Most people think narcissists just get angry when you leave, but what actually happens is way more calculated and way more revealing. Their spiral can reveal things you never saw coming. So I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like, how much you still matter, and what they're likely to do next so you know how to protect yourself. So let's get into it. What can you expect when a narcissist realizes you are never coming back? Well, a few things really, not least of which being their desire for you will likely go through the roof. Narcissists always want what they can't have. If it's out of reach, the desire factor is only going to go up for the narcissist. Why? Well, because the forbidden fruit effect is a very real thing. And naturally, to some degree, it's human nature to want something more when it's off limits or more challenging to get. But because of the gaping hole in their soul, people with a destructive narcissist personality pattern take this forbidden fruit effect to a whole other level. In addition, narcissists spend a lot of time in fantasy, sometimes to the point of being delusional, especially in relation to themselves, their own worth, gifts, and talents, which is why they so often show up with an attitude of superiority and a shocking sense of entitlement. Once they realize you're gone for real and for good, that you are never coming back, and now they have to deal with themselves and the void left behind in your absence, believe me when I tell you, they are going to feel that void in a big way. And in that void, they long for the one that got away, sometimes obsessively so. Now, the truth is, narcissists don't go after riffraff. You can be sure that if you've been pursued by a destructive narcissist for anything more than a one-night stand, it's because you bring a lot of good to the relationship. At the very least, you're someone who, in their mind, makes them look good somehow. And that, by the way, is in any relationship with a narcissist, not just romantic. Once the narcissist realizes this is not going to be a temporary separation and that you are definitely not going back, the spiral will be about very specific things, namely loss of control, loss of a reliable source of supply, the threat of exposure, and serious narcissistic injury. Again, their ego takes a big hit, and that spiral can look intense, dramatic, or strangely subtle. And it won't always be a loud spiral. Sometimes it looks chaotic. Sometimes it looks calculated. Sometimes it looks like reinvention. And sometimes it looks like indifference. But underneath, it's all the same thing. They're unraveling because they can no longer regulate themselves through direct access to you. So, what's the first thing the narcissist will do when they realize you're not playing? You're gone for good? To protect themselves and their false persona, the very first thing they'll do is launch an image management campaign. It's about immediate image and reputation control. They'll start curating how they appear to others, posting differently on social media, performing happiness, virtue, innocence, success, even spirituality or victimhood. This is not just moving on. It's often a frantic effort to control the story before your absence shines a light on who they really are and raises legitimate questions, which ties directly into my next point. They become obsessed with rewriting history, not just smearing you, but re-editing the entire relationship. Suddenly, they were the one who tried. They were patient. They were blindsided. You were unstable, ungrateful, and impossible to get along with, and of course, the abusive one. The narcissistic spiral often includes a desperate need to create a version of the past that protects their ego from the truth of your leaving, and more specifically, why you left. Now, strangely, in addition to all of this performing, manipulating, and controlling perceptions, they will also test how serious you are through repeated indirect contact. In addition to direct hoovering attempts, they'll probe through side doors like mutual friends, social media views, liking and commenting on old posts, as well as accidental contact, vague messages out of nowhere, third-party inquiries, logistical excuses, or using so-called emergencies as a means to manipulate you into re-engaging. Now, when this happens, what many people don't realize is the narcissist doesn't actually want closeness, real, genuine contact or connection, as much as they just want proof that they're still significant, important enough to still have the ability to access you, get to you, even if only indirectly. It's an ego trip, and a sick one at that. Nothing more.